and then starting to build little micro celebrations. Because if you're somebody who's gone from criticizing yourself, going into being like, I am worthy and I am amazing and I'm going to celebrate myself feels so fucking fake. It did for me. I was like, people are like, you need to celebrate yourself. And I was
Fake
like,
news.
Fake news? What, you want me to celebrate myself? Why? Like, I haven't really done anything.
We're back.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast.
No one's letting you forget in the club. That is for fucking sure.
Are you in lots and lots of pain? How bad is the pain?
Fuck you fucking asshat.
Having fun dancing in the floor.
Number one, why am I calling you? Number two, you ruined everything.
Oh, so good. Sorry.
Every episode is you laughing, and it's my favorite thing on the world. It's
Or
like
meowing.
Or meowing. It's either you laughing, or it's you laughing or us meowing. And I messaged you this morning, and I said, how unhinged is it that most podcasts have this like really polished, it's immaculate, it's like, hello and welcome to the da-da-da show, and today's show we'll be talking, and you and I are just a dumpster fire, usually because we've been laughing about something, we've told each other something super unhinged right before there's a countdown on Riverside. So it's like usually we're counting down and we're making some stupid face and then we're laughing about something. So anyways, hi everybody.
That's
Hello.
what you can count on with us. Like, we probably will never do a polished intro. I like the meowing and the laughing and the unhinged nature. I feel like it is so authentic to who we are.
Yes.
Like
And
if we were in person with you, this is exactly what would be happening. So
our eyes we would connect eyes with you, and we would literally look at you and be like, oh my fucking God. And we would run over to you and we would just be like, just so happy, and that's how we are, and that's why we're going to create in-person experiences, because we love seeing you in real life and squeezing you and all the things. But
well, on that note, today we're gonna dive into a topic that is near and dear to both of our hearts, and at least in my line of work, and I'm sure this is true for you, Christine, it has been such a game changer in terms of amplified results. And that is the process of celebrating yourself and like celebrating the micro wins and the micro transformations. And when we have that muscle in the bag, everything fucking changes. And for a lot of people, they're shitty at celebrating themselves. They are really good at shitting on themselves. They're really good at putting themselves down, focusing and obsessing about how they didn't make the mark and what they could have done better, instead of celebrating what they actually did accomplish and what actually was working, and what they did, essentially break through into. And when we kind of fixate on, what's not working, we're going to get more of that. And it also just feels so fucking awful in the body. Like, I don't know about you, but like, I grew up with a lot of criticism, and I developed a praise kink in response to that. So I actually do really well when I'm praised, whether it's, in a relationship, in the bedroom, in a friendship, in business, or in my relationship with myself. Criticism has no transformational value. And yet it is the thing that everybody subscribes to. It's insanity to me. Like, it doesn't work. It works to like change behavior on a short term, but like you're changing it not because it's true to change it, but because you're trying to avoid pain or avoid disconnection from other people, not because it's actually true for you to change and transform. And true change and transformation comes through the avenue of praise and celebration, which, well, that's our topic today, friends.
micro transformations, micro wins. And just to your point about criticism versus celebration, the way I like to look at it is like, what's the fuel in your tank? Because both will yield results. You know, I know a lot of people, I work with a lot of, you know, high achieving CEOs and founders and visionaries who have had extreme success. So like on paper, it's like, yeah, I've done the thing. But then they come to me and they're like, I have the money, I have the things, like, why am I not happy? And they realize that it's like they've done all that, but it's been a lot of the masculine, it's been a lot of hustling and pushing and criticism, and a lot of it has come from like a trauma response. Even it's like maybe they were younger and they were told they would never amount to something, or they would whatever it is, or they had like super strict parents who were like, you need to do it this way. And so sometimes it's like a rebellion against, and sometimes it's a like forced into, and they realize that like that wasn't the thing. It wasn't the thing that made them happy. It wasn't, you know, they get the gold star and they're like, wait, what? This was rigged? Like, what happened? And so I think looking at our lives and looking at success and being like, is it really success if it came from depletion, if it came from criticism? Like, what is the fuel in your tank that's driving the vehicle, which is you, right? Like, what is it? Because we can, again, like I said, yield amazing results from criticism or from trying to prove. I know for me, for many years, even when I opened up that boutique fitness center that I had, a lot of that, it was mixed. It was a mixed fuel bag. It was definitely like intuition and soul purpose. And obviously it's led me to where I am, and I don't regret it whatsoever. But there was definitely fueled in there this like, I'll show you, because I was bullied growing up, and I had people like, you know, I was sort of like, I don't know, my identity had this, you'll never amount to anything, you don't have money, you don't have like skills, you didn't go to college, you didn't go to university, like, you know, I did other things and I have a ton of fucking street cred, but in terms of the traditional model and the traditional conditioning, I didn't have any of that. And there was a lot of shame and a lot of embarrassment weaved into that. And so it was like, when I was building the sweat and building that movement, it was constantly fear. It was constantly fear inducing. It was like, if I fuck this up, I'm dead. Because all the other fitness trainers that I knew who were succeeding would like look at me and laugh. People around me would laugh. So I like bled myself out to the point of adrenal fatigue, chronic stress. I was having panic attacks because the fuel in the tank was absolute fear. It was criticism of self. It was low self-worth. And so there was this massive unbecoming, and learning to not only neutralize and accept myself, but actually then building on top of that foundation, which is I think something you and I do really well with Women in the Club and the things we're building, is like getting in right relationship and intimacy with self, and then starting to build little micro celebrations. Because if you're somebody who's gone from criticizing yourself, going into being like, I am worthy and I am amazing and I'm going to celebrate myself, feels so fucking fake. It did for me. I was like, people are like, you need to celebrate yourself. And I was
Fake
like,
news.
Fake news? What, you want me to celebrate myself? Why? Like, I haven't really done anything. And on top of that, I mean, us humans, we have a negativity bias. It's the way that we're programmed, right? Because if you think of survival, your system isn't like, oh, I really hope you're abundant and happy and you're so in love. It's like, I want you to live. My only thing I care about is survival. So let me show you and remind you so deeply in your bones and your cells and in your nervous system, everything that could go wrong, everything, like its negativity has a stickiness to it. And so, you know, why do you think it's like, oh, Rhonda, did you see Rhonda? Rhonda fucking ran over the cat and she's cheating on her husband. People love that shit. Why? Gossip, right? We have a negativity bias. I think it was like the stats showed like it takes for every positive, it takes 10 negative. So if we have let's say like, it's like 10 to 1 ratio. It takes, right? Like 10 positive experiences to be the same as 1 negative one.
To offset it.
That took me a little bit to get there, but I got there, guys. Gotcha. But it's like, you knew what I was picking up. So it's like, that is insanity, right? So I think we also have to just realize what we're working with at the end of the day, that like, it's kind of a rigged game. Like, but this is why these micro celebrations, and doing it in a nervous system friendly way, which is what you and I are all about in terms of transformation and celebration and expansion, is because like, look at the January curse of the gym, right? Like I was thinking about this today. I was at the gym, I was doing a workout, and I was like, if you went from saying, I don't run, to I'm going to sign up for a marathon.
Ali Pintucci.
We're calling you out. What does your system say? How am I going to get there? oh my gosh, I'm so overwhelmed. Like the initial, like, ooh, that sounds fun. And then we're like, fuck, it's so overwhelming. How do I get there? I'm not going to succeed. I'm not a runner. Oh my gosh. Right. So this is what we do in everything, in business, in life, in relationship. We jump right into the fucking deep end without really having respect for our nervous system, for the fact that we're humans and we need to titrate it. We need to have little micro as we're building that muscle, right? It would be a lot easier to say, okay, I'm going to sign up for a 5K. That feels more achievable.
For a walk.
Yes, or go for a walk, right? Or I'm going to sign up for, like, stretch yourself and go into something that feels a little bit of an edge, but not to the point of completely dysregulating yourself. Because I know for me, for years I did this. I would make massive declarations and I'm going to do it this way. And then it created such a rigidity within myself. It created so much disappointment. And then guess what I got to do? I got to reconfirm over and over and over again that I was a fucking loser who never finished anything, couldn't complete it. And I ate that shit for breakfast and it just kept building the story. I was case building against myself. Yes. And guys, we don't want to do this. This is why, again, Kelsey and I have some really exciting announcements to talk about because we've cracked the code and we are really understanding how for you to have these incredible transformations that not only stick, but you change on an identity level, because you can have a breakthrough and you can have an aha, but at the end of the day, your neural pathways and that nervous system is going to snap you right back to who you think you are, which is why a very holistic, consistent, repetitive, and loving and accepting community and places to be in is the fucking flex. It's the real vibe. It's how you're going to actually shift and transform really fucking quick. And rant.
And scene.
And scene.
I mean, it's so true though. Like the consistency with those little micro shifts. And we can apply that to any area of life. Like any area of life you want to have a breakthrough in. We have like these very lofty perspectives. I often think of that as like my ego kind of setting the target versus the truth of me. And the ego is the one that wants like, okay, we're at like a $5,000 month. So what that means, next month, we're going to have $100K month. And like, that sounds all fancy. And then the nervous system is like, the fuck you are.
Sure, bitch. Guess what?
Nice try.
Money's
but that
not
ain't happening.
safe. Money's not safe. Nobody will like you. Your family will abandon you. This is all happening behind the scenes, by the way. You don't know this is happening. You're like, this is why we see this. I'm just gonna rant for 2 seconds here, but like, I've fallen victim to this too, right? It's like I went from having no money to making some money, and then all of a sudden, my business, I started like putting myself in rooms that I was uncomfortable in, and I started making crazy money. I went from like having like I had a 10K month, a 15K, 20K month. My system fucking shot into dysregulation and I couldn't hold it because I hadn't done the foundational work to hold the money. I was like bleeding it out constantly because I was like, this is so overwhelming. This isn't safe.
Yeah.
So anyway, sorry.
And the same thing happens. It doesn't matter if it's money or if it's fitness. Like you and I have done this too with our fitness journeys where we'll be like so on it. And then it's usually the same fucking day that we'll call each other and we'll be like, you know what I just did? Like, check out my grocery shop. Like, there's like 2 vegetables. And then the rest is just fucking garbage. And like, we just go to fucking town. Now, part of that is being a woman and having a female cycle. And like, I'm not going to make that wrong. And I actually create a lot of space for it. But there was a period of time, I think it was about May that this happened for us, where it was like a whole month. And like you and I, and it makes sense because we had this liftoff with the club and like this crazy momentum for like March and April, and then there's this huge expansion, and then our nervous system like got a hold of the memo and was like, oh fuck, like these two, like fuck, we like abort mission. Pump the brakes. What the fuck? And it was the only way that like we could almost like deplete our energy because we had so much momentum that was building and we have a lot of practices in play. And like the one spot where we both were like, well, this will take me out. This will make me feel like a piece of shit, or like it'll just at the very least just make my stomach hurt. And if my stomach's hurting, then I'm focused on that, and I'm not actually focused on the expansion and how vulnerable that feels, because it really comes down to visibility. And like all of a sudden we're like taking up more space. And then those other parts are like, don't you remember in third grade when you were laughing like a hyena? Actually, I think this happened in second grade. And you got in so much trouble, and your teacher embarrassed you in front of the whole class. And then you had to write lines at lunchtime. I will have more self control. I have no self control.
That's what makes you so. This makes you so unhinged. I mean, that's like if you think about it, how perfect that is. It's like taking away your superpower, right?
And like from grade 2, like onward, I thought like not having self control was the move, or like having self control was the move, and like not having self control was like the big bad scary thing.
Yeah.
And so it perfectly fits into that criticism wound and all of those things. But all that to say, like when we are making moves and having this momentum, there is a inevitable point where you hit the edge of that. And then all of a sudden your protectors are like, hello, you are about to expand past what is familiar here. We must stop this at all costs. And whether it's you sabotage yourself by, you've been on a streak with the gym and then all of a sudden you just stop moving, or you do what we did and like just buy a whole grocery shop full of garbage. Or maybe you send like the super like not good unhinged, but like bad unhinged text to the person that you like and blow it all up. Maybe you go on a shopping spree and you spend all your money that you just made. It doesn't matter what it is. Like when we don't have the nervous system capacity to hold the goodness, we will find a way to off gas it. We will find a way to spend it, to like deplete it and get back into a familiar range. Gay Hendricks talks about this in his book, The Big Leap, and he calls it an upper limit problem. So we all have like these preset limits within our nervous system of what we are allowed to feel and what we're allowed to have. And when we hit that edge, or we're about to hit that edge, our saboteurs come in to drain the energy and take us back down into a familiar range. And what we're suggesting with clocking and celebrating these micro wins and these micro transformations is actually what builds out more nervous system capacity. So that, if we're playing with the upper limit philosophy, it expands your upper limit so that you actually are able to hold more. It feels safer in your system. What are you laughing about? You can't see this because it's just an audio, but she looks like she's on the verge of like losing her fucking shit.
It's not. The thing that's coming in as you're talking, it's so brilliant, but it's like the sneaky, my system's just clocking this right now. It's like what we do, you and I.
Yeah.
It's like the sneaky backdoor way. I just got a visual, literally a visual. I'm super clairvoyant. So it's like, I saw this visual of like, it's like, think of your inner child or nervous system as in like the control panel of your system. And it's like high alert. You've got all your special ops teams of your nervous system, like, guns ready, fucking like, I'm on high alert. I'm watching everything at all times. And you and I are like, okay, here's our method.
Back door.
We're going to go down the back door. And then as they walk by, because they're just they're whispers. It's just a little whisper. It's just a baby micro transformation. It like sneaks under the radar.
Yes.
So it keeps like, it's like, just a little deposit.
Just
a little deposit. Just a tip. Just a deposit. Just a deposit. And then all of a sudden, you've done so much that your system has your identity, your system, before you know it, something fucking happens. And this has happened recently in the club with some women who have said, I don't know what happened, but something fucking clicked and something happened. It's been theory and something happened and it's my new autopilot. It's how I react. It's how I now respond. And I guess when I was almost on the brink of like laughing, I was like, oh my gosh, that's actually what's happening. This is what's happening. We're like doing the sneaky way where we're expanding, like you said, the upper limit, the container, so that
The back door.
the transformation happens, right? Because I think as well that special ops teams is on, alert 24/7, looking out for us for danger and the crazy thing is, guys, our neuroception is off. Like a lot of that stuff that it's like false alarming, it's false firing because a trauma or an emotional experience happened when you were younger and it hasn't been updated. And that's what Kelsey and I are helping you do. We're updating your system for expansion and it's not theory and it's not fucking like information. This is transformation. This is integration. That's what I think what sets us apart from other teachers is our biggest focus is the root cause. It's like going and like literally setting you up for the most incredible expansion of your life. And I'm excited because I keep seeing this like little build and all of a sudden you're like, shit. Right. And just on that note, I heard a quote, oh my gosh, what's his name? Jim Fortin, I think it was. And he said a line I'll never forget. He said, you're never going to outperform your identity. Mm-hmm. And basically it's talking about the fact we have this like thermostat or like you said, the upper limit. And it's just like, we need to shift an identity level because if at the end of the day we don't, we will have a win or we will have something happen, but it will always pull us back down because our identity is it's set. And so like, I don't know, I guess you and I have been studying transformation for so long, business transformation, purpose, like leader, love, all this. And so I'm in my body. I'm like buzzing right now because I've been frustrated. I felt like, why am I not transforming? What is this? Why can't I manifest? Like, this whole fucking manifestation shit is bullshit. I got to the point where I was like, fuck you, manifestation. None of this shit works anyways. And all what we're talking about is manifestation. It is your love life. It is your business. It is your money relationship. Like, this is why you and I we were talking about something like shadow or talking about, something completely irrelevant. And then the person goes and like triples their business.
Yeah.
And they're like, I don't understand. And we're like,
gets the date.
It gets the date. They get the partner. The partner comes out of the blue, whatever it is. It's like something happens that's absolutely like a miracle and magic to them. Mm-hmm. And just like, when you go to see the chiropractor and you're like, I have a kink in my neck. And they're like, oh, it's actually coming from your foot. And you're like, wait, what?
Your left hip is out.
Totally. And you're like, no, my neck hurts. And they're like, I know it's not from there. Right. Which is why I think leaning back and trusting the process is so important. That's a whole other conversation. Please continue. I love you. I'm just so excited. I'm so excited to help people transform.
I love it. And, we're not poo-pooing things like gratitude lists,
Nope.
but in my experience, like I don't find if I write a gratitude list that it really does much on a physiological level. I find that it stays quite mental. And for me, when I have to look at celebrating myself, it's a deeper exploration because I actually really have to pay attention to a lot of different factors in my life. I have to take into consideration how I would have reacted or responded or handled a certain situation, and then look at, well, what did I actually do in reality here in this moment? And holy shit, like that is different. Even if it's, I used to be the queen of fucking popping off in text messages and like being totally unhinged and like being reactive, when I felt threatened. And something that I have noticed such a massive shift in is that particular sequence of events. So it's not that I don't get triggered or I don't get destabilized or I don't feel threatened or insecure, because I do, especially if I'm feeling really vulnerable and I like someone a lot. Like that shit's going to come up for me. However, I have built such an internal fortitude and connection with myself over, the last decade that when I hit those spots, what I do with them is so different. Instead of like grabbing my phone and off-gassing that energy and being like, why the fuck aren't you paying attention to me? Like, who are you with? What's her name? I was totally that psychopath. And more so in my 20s, but like, it still was there.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, even just like that mental thought of like, oh, who are they with or what are they doing? They must be with someone else. That immediately takes me out of my body and puts me in my head where I'm mentally like analyzing this thing to death, which means I'm not feeling what I need to be feeling, whether that is working with the dysregulation of my nervous system or whether that is an emotion that is trying to fucking move. And so now when I hit those spots, I might text you, or I might go for a workout. I might, sit with my feelings and be like, okay, what's going on here? Like, do you need to emote in some way? And when I have those moments, like those are so behind the scenes, no one else would ever know that that has happened, but I know. And if I step over it like it doesn't matter, then I don't create the momentum of change and transformation. But if I clock it and I spend some time with my journal, I mean, like, you know what you did really fucking well today? When you got triggered, when that spot of vulnerability, like you felt really open and really vulnerable, and you hit your edge with it, you hit your upper limit with it, and you normally would go completely like nutso, or you would dissociate and check out or whatever, coping mechanism I would have now. You didn't do that. You stayed with it. You like literally stayed with it and you gave yourself what you needed, and I'm so fucking proud of you. And I'm just celebrating you so hard. Mm-hmm. Like that, when I do, a reflection like that, I feel it in my system. It's very, very different than I'm grateful for the sun, and I'm grateful for my bed, and I'm grateful for my, money in my account. Like that has no feeling. There's no richness to that. But when I go this layer deeper and I start clocking my celebrations and my micro wins and these moments that no one else would see. Like if someone was like just like seeing me day to day, they wouldn't know that this had happened. But I know that it's happened, and I don't want to step over it, because if I step over it, then I create the conditions for that criticism pattern, for that minimization pattern, for that dysfunction pattern to have more space to roam. And we don't love that for you. We don't love that for us. And for me, like the biggest breakthroughs have happened in my life when I have created the conditions and the environment for success, which means an environment of praise, an environment of celebration. And when we do the praise and celebration, it actually makes it so much easier to digest feedback. And if there is like legitimate criticism, you can actually handle it, because you're like, oh yeah, I kind of did miss the mark there. Like facts, like, yep, let me tune that up. And it doesn't blow your ego out like it would if you are constantly shitting yourself and like shitting on yourself and beating yourself up. You can't handle criticism from the world. You can't handle someone being like, you fucked up, because your ego is so fragile and it's such a threat to your identity and so spicy on the nervous system that's when we like erupt and like we get really messy, and we create a lot of relational problems as well, which obviously we get into in the club because we, focus on love, sex, money, and power. And so how all of these things intertwine with each other. And when we are, creating those conditions for success and for love and for abundance and magic and all the things, that's not going to be birthed in an environment where you're, getting down on yourself, where you're talking shit to yourself, where you're saying like you're such a piece of shit, like no one will ever love you, or no one will ever pay you, or no one cares about what you have to say. Like those type of internal narratives, those are the micro shifts that we want to see you transform. Like it's such a huge win when someone says, instead of talking shit to myself, I was kind to myself. like, and it seems like such a small thing, but like when you're a teacher of transformation, you fucking know how huge that is. And if we don't amplify those moments, we won't get more of them, because we get more of what we amplify. We get more of what we plug our energy into. So if we plug our energy there in the celebration, in the clocking of those micro wins, you're going to train your brain and your body to look for more of that evidence. And the more evidence that you expose yourself to, it's like exposure therapy, the more comfortable you are in those domains of being successful, being abundant, being well loved, whatever it is, being healthy. Like, it doesn't matter what it is, but you will become much more attuned to that. Mm.
Snap, snap, snap. So
and on that
freaking-
note,
on that note, well, it's just
we have a new daily coaching club.
Guys, we're losing our freaking minds. We want to tell you about this. We're over the moon. It's like, it is something that is so juicy. Kelsey and I obviously have the club. So we run this podcast together. We also have Club Unhinged, and that is, we've moved it now, so it only opens a couple times a year. We're very particular about who joins the club. There has to be, it's a certain vibe. I mean, who knows, maybe we might get to application only down the road, but right now we're only opening a couple times a year, and that's when we do a year-long deep dive into love, sex, money, power. Those are our pillars, but obviously from there, they're all rooted in the nervous system. They're all rooted in micro transformations. They're all, which end up, surprise, surprise, being quantum leaps. But like all of it is so juicy, and that's like really the year-long deep dive with us. And because we're doing that, as you probably know by now, Kelsey and I also do these micro trainings, these mini trainings, which we're absolutely loving. These are sort of monthly things that we dive into, really accessible, but we wanted more. We wanted more. We knew that there was something else for us to build, and we wanted to connect with you more. We wanted more connection. We wanted more intimacy with you. And we really thought to ourselves, like, what is the thing that's going to move the needle forward? What is the thing that's moved the needle forward with us? How do we actually help people transform? Because I know there's so many people out there who are so frustrated or just like they forget. I know for me, I forget all the time. It's not rocket science. It's nothing that you don't already know. It's just a little bit different. And so what we designed, what we created, it's called the Daily Coaching Club. Okay. We're launching it. We're starting next Monday. So we are so excited. Well, depending on when you hear this podcast, but we are starting on September the 16th, Monday morning. We're delivering it. So these are micro bite transformational coaching pieces that are going to be delivered right into a private podcast feed just for you. So we were over the moon. So basically what we're doing right now, we are having a founders member rate right now. We were already halfway through the founding members rate, which is so exciting. We've already got like lots of people signing up. People are so excited for this. But basically every single day, legit, 7 days a week, you are going to have Kelsey or I in your inbox with a 1 to 10 minute audio. So you can listen to this on the go. You can be driving to work. You can be waking up first thing in the morning. You can be on the treadmill. You can be doing whatever, doing the dishes. And we're going to be in your ear. You have 2 master coaches in your ear. And guys, the best, I was going to say funness, that's not really a word, but the best part about this is you never know what you're going to get. I mean, as you know, Kelsey's a master in love, sex, relationships. I mean, she's a master in everything, but I really focus on intuition, purpose, money, business. Like those are sort of my specialties. And Kelsey and I are both really soulful, like, together on Club Unhinged. We talked about this yesterday in the mini training. Like we go off the rails with each other. We can be like ridiculous and funny. And, we're probably our most unhinged selves when we're together, but this is a chance for you to get to know each of us individually, more intimately, because yes, I'm crazy. And there's sometimes I'm so soulful. If I'm leading a retreat or if I'm working one-to-one with a client on like deep trauma or like expanding their business, I'm in a very different energy. And so I think it's really cool to see the full range of both Kelsey and I. And, we want to create a deeper connection with you. It would basically be like your best friend, calling you up every morning or whatever time you listen to it and basically reminding you who the fuck you are, what you're capable of, and just giving you a little piece, a transformational piece for you to think about. So this could be a journal prompt. This could be an excerpt from a book that we've come across, or a quote that we've come across, and, we're just going to expand on it and give you our thoughts about it. This could be a micro meditation. This could be a somatic process or a nervous system drill that day you can implement. And, you go to the washroom, or you go, wherever, and you practice the breathing we give you. We practice the nervous system drill. This could be, just a little reminder. This could be a channeled message. Like, as you know, I'm pretty psychic, you guys. And so I'm a channel. And so I get lots of universal messages. It could be a behind the scenes of Kelsey and I. It could be, her and I talking about, what we're going through in that moment, our business, me as a mother. There's so many pieces and so much value in this, and we really want to share with you authentically what Kelsey and I are moving through, and just share more of our hearts with you and your heart with us. And it's really, when I say bare bones, I mean the value is insane, but what I mean that is that there's no community space that you have to dive into. There's no commitment in it. You can literally sign up for 1 month and leave if you want. If you're like, okay, I'm going to try it. And we wanted to make this a no-brainer offer for you. So the price point is out of control. Our first founding members rates, and then we have our 30 days, $30 right now. It will be going up to a $99 minimum a month membership. So this will be like a monthly thing that you can tap in and tap out of, but it will be moving up to that. But right now, we were in these much lower price points because we want to make it really accessible. So it's basically like you have 2 coaches in your ear, 2 master coaches in your ear every single day. Because here's the thing, you can sign up for courses, you can sign up for master classes, you can sign up for all of these different things. But how often have you sat there and been like, okay, I know I need to start that thing. Oh gosh, I have that call I need to sit down for 2 hours for. Oh, I have that workshop I didn't listen to. Okay, shoot, when am I going to find 90 minutes to do that? And Kelsey and I, don't get me wrong, Kelsey and I offer all of those things. But we also know it really moves the needle forward when you're fucking busy, you're running a business, or you're a parent, or you have shit going on, and you just need that little voice in your ear reminding you, you are worthy, you are powerful, you're a badass, you can do this, you can do fucking hard things, just little reminders, little edges, us giving you, I do this thing called sentence completion. So getting you to see what's in your subconscious mind, it's all designed to have you transform. And because it's, how do humans learn best? Through repetition and consistency, right? That's the way that we learn best. So this is how we've designed it for you. We're going to put everything in the show notes. We're so excited. We're so excited. We wanted to make this extremely nervous system friendly. We wanted to make this, there's no extra pressure or stress for you. So there's no community space to tap into. There's no commitment in this. There's no pressure. There's no overwhelm. It's completely ease. It's literally just like you would go to this podcast on your Apple or your Spotify. You literally have a private podcast feed, the Daily Coaching Club, and you can hit play. And every single day, you're going to have a 1 to 10 minute essentially little mini coaching, micro coaching session with us in your ear. And how fucking epic is that? Whatever you're doing, if you're building a 7-figure business, or whether you're, at home just trying to, breastfeed a child, or whether you're out for a run, or you're feeling like crap, it's just that little energetic infusion and injection that's going to remind you that you can do this. Kelsey and I are on this journey with you. We are not we're doing this, shoulder to shoulder, side by side with you, this thing called life. And so we want to give you in that behind the scenes. So this is probably the offer we're so excited about. We're not opening the club doors until October. Of course, if you want to dive deeper into that, then obviously joining the club would be a great thing. And you can join us on the waitlist page to get first access for that. But the Daily Coaching Club is a fantastic opportunity in between that to dive in, to vibe with us, and to ultimately transform in a nervous system friendly way, right? We want that transformation for you. So if you're interested, you can hop on over to the show notes, take a look in there, and sign up. I would highly recommend, this is not a cheesy sales tactic, but I would highly recommend signing up sooner than later if you are interested, just because you're going to lock in that rate. So because there's no commitment, it's going to keep auto renewing if you don't cancel it, and you're going to lock in that rate. So if you get in at one of the founders members rates, you're going to keep that until you cancel. So I would highly recommend, we're only doing it 1 to 10 people is this rate, 10 to 20 is this rate, and then it basically goes up. So highly, highly recommend, get in there, lock it in, and we're going to be with you every single day. We're so freaking excited. Obviously we're keeping the podcast and everything like that, but Yeah. Anyways, we freaking love you so, so much. We both have to hop off now, but thank you for tuning in today. Kelsey, Kelsey all of a sudden just dropped off the podcast. That's okay. I don't know where she went. I think her computer maybe died. But we love you so, so much. And if you have questions about the Daily Coaching Club or anything like that, you can always DM me or Kelsey. Go on Club Unhinged on Instagram. You can connect with us through the show notes. But we love you, and we so hope to see you in the Daily Coaching Club or on one of our mini trainings or in the club, obviously. So we love you. Have the best day. Thank you so much for tuning into the podcast. If you enjoyed this, please rate it, review it. It's all about the micro celebrations. It's all about the micro wins. We want you to win. This is your one beautiful, precious life. Like, I know for me, I'm not going to get to the age of 95 or, hopefully 100 on my deathbed. I don't want to look back at life and say, I'm so happy I played it safe. I'm so happy that I, didn't take the risk. I'm so happy I didn't transform. Like, you're never going to hear that out of my mouth. And so I think, when we commit to transformation, we put our money where our mouth is and we say, you know what, I'm all in. Let's fucking go. Like, what's possible, right? Like, that's the vibe we want to leave you with. So we love you. You are so capable. We can't wait to see you in the Daily Coaching Club. We can't wait to see you in the club or back on the podcast. So love you. We'll talk to you soon. Okay. Bye.
All in all, we want to say thank you for being here. We love and appreciate you so much. And if you liked today, give us a 5-star rating, and we'll see you next week.
And share it. Do you know somebody who needs this in their life? Share this shit. Abundance goes round and round. We love you.
We love you. Bye.